Hi! Welcome to part 1 of my review featuring the Heavy Gear Rulebook. This is the Revitalized PDF. Heavy Gear is a pioneer amongst mech RPGs. That's mech, not mecha. This is not about samurai style of robots that fight with beam sabers and such. This is a more realistic take. These huge walking vehicles are more comparable to walking tanks. And this entire line has been revitalized. The PDFs are no longer grainy or blurry scans. These are high-quality renditions in crystal clear glory. Now, this is the first edition of the Heavy Gear role-playing game. This rulebook contains a complete, easy-to-use, yet realistic role-playing game system, which uses the classic six-sided dice to resolve conflicts. It contains a complete tactical game system that can either be played on its own or interact smoothly with the role-playing game. You also have optional rules for tabletop gaming using metal miniatures. You also have the advanced Heavy Gear Fighter card game rules, including the multiplayer and the all-new dual rules. There's a brief summary of the Heavy Gear science fiction game universe. And there are fully illustrated descriptions and game statistics for 8 Heavy Gears, 4 ground vehicles, and 2 Striders. So there is certainly a lot of value here. Now let's talk about the quality. All of the Heavy Gear PDFs from the Revitalized line have been given the premium treatment. In this case, this document is fully bookmarked. It contains a few full-color illustrations, but most of them are in black and white. They are of a certain manga aesthetic, which is somewhat funny because the stories told in Heavy Gear are a bit more realistic, less over the top. Everything is well written, explained, and organized, so overall the quality is excellent. Although I did manage to spot a couple of typos, but nothing that will present an obstacle when understanding the content.
Danger.
Now let's talk about the content itself. First, you have some Heavy Gear fun facts, such as over 100 people were involved in the design of the game and playtesting. The book went through 3 format changes and 8 different layouts, all complete before it was finalized. The manuscript itself, which is around 125,000 words, was revised and rewritten 3 times from A to Z. So you have several facts about the creation of this role-playing game. Following that, we have a bit of Heavy Gear fiction. I think that, despite not being as extensive, the Heavy Gear fiction is on par with the Battletech fiction. The short story included here contains all of the staples of a good Heavy Gear story. Things will go wrong when you least expect them to go wrong, and you will have to work under such terrible circumstances. So this is about heroes that are quite imperfect. They try to work with the less than favorable circumstances of the environment. And just because you are piloting a gear doesn't mean that you are safe from harm. Even other seemingly inferior vehicles can take down a gear, which is probably the most versatile and powerful machine on the battlefield. Then we have information on the setting, the world of Heavy Gear. Heavy Gear is the story of mankind thousands of years into the future. A bit over 4,000 years to be precise. Civilizations have prospered and then vanished. Hard times have come and gone again. And after millennia spent on Earth, humanity discovered the key to the stars through science. Most of the early action of Heavy Gear takes place on Terra Nova, the oldest Earth-like colony established by humans outside the solar system. Terra Nova is almost Earth-like. It has an oxygen atmosphere and a carbon-based ecosystem. Just because the game starts off on Terra Nova does not mean the action is limited to this one place. There are plenty of other colonies. Heavy Gear's background is different from other games, in that it includes a tale that is meant to evolve in a timely fashion. This is a large-scale story, with a beginning and an end. It is the story of the human species as it comes of age and faces itself. The story will take about 5 or 6 years of real time. Remember that this book was written a long time ago. This is approximately 20 to 30 years of game time. So the story of Heavy Gear has evolved throughout the years. Each sourcebook, player's guide, and adventure pack will show the current date. The present book includes the rules needed to play the game, plus some basic information on Terra Nova and the rest of the Heavy Gear background. The rules allow play either as a role-playing game, a tactical tabletop game, or a combination of the two. Special rules are also included for those who wish to include miniatures or Heavy Gear fighter in their game. Besides this rulebook, there are sourcebooks which contain information on one particular topic, a political entity, technology, etc. You also have field guides, which work as a series of identification and information catalogs about the tools of both civilians and military personnel, such as vehicles, space vessels, etc. We have tech manuals. These books are meant to explain everything technological about the world of Heavy Gear, from simple tools to the Heavy Gears themselves. You have army lists. These books will give full details on what the armies of the Heavy Gear world are made of. You have the complete gear books. These extensive compendiums will feature everything there is to know about one particular gear model, its variants, its components, its famous pilots, and its battles of note. You have the anthology books, intended for both the Heavy Gear players and the science fiction fans. They contain stories, anecdotes, essays, and other ambience stuff. And you have the side stories books. These volumes, which focus on more specific parts of the world compared to a source book, contain information on a person, a unit, a famous battle. They also include complete role-playing adventures and/or campaigns, as well as tactical scenarios. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to continue with the game system, the Silhouette system. As you can see, the Heavy Gear has a strong legacy when it comes to background history, the development of this fictional technology, and the many battles fought, the dramas encountered, and the political intrigue that seems to be ever present in humanity's long troubled history. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'm going to put a couple of links below, where you can obtain this document as a single file or as part of a larger bundle containing all of the products in the line, and I will be reviewing all of the products of said line. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.